for the biggest fish, the hottest bites. This week, here on In-Depth Outdoors.
Got it. Look at that. Wow, is that an incredible fish? Got him. Whoa, this is an absolute monster.
You're headed to the best ice fisheries from across the ice belt. We'll fish longer, punch more holes, and go further off the beaten path in search of the hottest bites on ice.
Oh, look at that. What a specimen. Look at the size of that. Look at that fish. That is a monster flake.
This is In-Depth Outdoors.
Good morning, everyone. James Holst here with In-Depth Outdoors. Thanks for tuning in. And before we get right into today's show, I just want to provide a little framework for what we're going to cover today. Last week, I fished with Dave Kuntz, and we had a great bite on some big crappies. And during that show, both Dave and I referenced those crappies being a part of a basin bite. And as soon as that show aired, I almost immediately started getting emails from people asking, tell me more about this basin bite. I'm not really sure what you're talking about when you refer to basin. So on today's show, we're going to address that very specific topic. And in my opinion, basin crappie fishing in the winter is one of those core techniques, one of those core presentations, if you will, that if you're going to be a consistently successful crappie angler, you really have to have a good understanding of a winter basin bite for crappies. So today we head to Bloomer, Wisconsin. If you're not familiar with Bloomer, it's located about 2 hours straight east from Minneapolis, St. Paul. We're going to fish with one of In-Depth Outdoors' newest pro staffers, Bryan Myers. Bryan Myers, a great young guy, fishes NAIFC tournaments, and definitely someone that really has a good handle on this basin crappie pattern. Now, why did we choose Bloomer, Wisconsin? Well, we chose these lakes for a very specific reason. They receive a lot of pressure. These are not wilderness lakes. These are lakes that anybody can fish. So we wanted to show people how to get on this very specific bite in an area that gets frequent fishing pressure. So stick around if you're a crappie angler or you just want to become more proficient at catching crappies. This is a show that you're going to want to watch from beginning to end. We share a lot of information from how to identify the right locations on any body of water, what lures to use, and how to make your sonar work for you out there on the ice. So stick around, you're going to enjoy this show. Here he comes, here he comes. Good fish, got him. Okay, it doesn't happen like that every day, folks. Punch 10 holes apiece, first drop, fish comes rifling right up, smokes the jig and plastics. But that's what basin crappies are all about. Hey, he ain't too shabby. I love catching these things. They're agreeable fish. And by that I mean, you know, some fish you really got to tempt and coax. A lot of times you catch these crappies out over a deep basin like this, and they're aggressive. They're feeders. Let that one go. That's a good start right there. See you later, buddy. You know, when guys talk about catching crappies out over a basin, the concept's really pretty simple. They're talking about finding an area of the lake with a very consistent bottom. There's not going to be any noteworthy depth change in a very short distance, so it's fairly flat. And it's going to be out over a soft bottom, mud or silt. Very often the depths are going to be 30, 35 feet. And what happens is, out here in this basin area, that's where the warmest water is in the lake this time of year. You'll drop, like, say, a Markham Manta camera down with a temperature sensor on there, and very often the temperatures will be in the upper 30s, where obviously it's midwinter here. Everything up close to the ice is just above freezing. And what that does for the crappies is it keeps their metabolism high, and it's also a real easy source of food. Coming up out of that mud bottom, those soft bottoms, lots of invertebrates, bugs, and they feast on them all winter long. So this is a pattern that isn't unique to this lake. Pretty much every good crappie fishery is going to have this pattern midwinter. Yeah! Just come throw right down in the hole, man. Doing the tungsten tag team here, bud. Just drop. There's like 3-4 of them down there. Not bad for a heavily fished lake in Wisconsin, and my understanding is you get some real nice ones too, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Nice fish.
Yep.
And there's a bunch of buddies. All right, man. You're chasing them away.
I know.
That's one pretty good one down there. So what's the typical size running out here?
A lot of that 11 to 12 and a half range, really, usually.
That's a quality fish.
Oh yeah. Get into some 13s and 14s.
Looks like he's closing on you a little
yeah.
bit. You're gonna get him. You're gonna get him. Oh, yeah! As soon as you clear, I'm down in there. We're thinning the herd. Ooh, that's a decent fish.
Still down there.
Yep.
Just waiting for it.
Nicely done. That fish is in a hurry, man.
There's all tangled up here.
Come on. Let's see if we can convince one more out of there.
Kind of noticed like 3 different size schools running out here right now too, where you'll get into a small school.
Oh, you mean like the different year classes?
Yep, you'll get into smaller fish. They'll be more aggressive, but
yeah, I'd rather work for some of these bigger ones. Like this one right here.
Look at more of them just stacking up down below.
Yeah. What I like is you get more than a couple sitting down there. They seem to get a lot more competitive.
Mm-hmm. Like this one coming from the bottom.
Yep.
You know he's gonna smoke it.
He's coming. Oh, he nosed it. Oh, it tasted good. Come on, come back. You know, a lot of what these fish eat, you know, they don't have to chase it. It's just bugs and worms and just little things that they don't ever have to chase around at all. I don't really want to drop down to you. Spook you away. Well, he gave me a shot at it.
Yeah.
It's just one of those hits where you just can see the rod kind of flip up. I don't know that he actually put his mouth around it. Well, they went somewhere. You know, that's the whole thing about fishing these basin crappies. There's no structure. I mean, just constantly on the move. If you're a 1 or 2 hole guy, you're not going to like this bite.
Oh. Over there?
Nope. Holy smokes, do I have a lot of fish here. Eat it. Come on, it's good for you. It's vitamin rich.
There he is. Another one down there too. You want to come steal one?
Well, I'm not even sure I'd call it stealing, would you?
No, that's just being smart.
Go tungsten jig, go! That's a nice fish. You know, it's one thing catching great big slabs just south of the Arctic, you know, place where only black bears and moose run around. Get them here in Wisconsin where there's lots of fishing pressure. That's a whole different story. Come on, fishes. Gone.
Just like that.
That's why tungstens become so popular. Yep. You know, those lead jigs, same size, you know, comparatively to a tungsten jig, just sink so much slower. I mean, seconds count. These fish aren't sitting still, they're just constantly moving. So if you pick the fish up on this side of the cone, if it takes him 3 seconds to swim to the other side of the cone and you can't get the jig there in time, he's gone. So, you know, there's the right time and the wrong time to use tungsten. Out here in this deep water, when you're marking these roaming suspended fish, be fishing tungsten. This is a My Moon from Custom Jigs and Spins. I don't know about you, I don't mess around. I want the big ones. Yep. You know, a lot of guys, I think 5 millimeters, about the biggest one you're gonna find.
That's what this is.
You're using 3 pound?
This is 3 pound, yep.
Same thing I'm using. I'm using a 3 pound Ice Magic Suffix. 2 pound is a little bit too light when you got a chance to stick a 2+ pound crappie, and you start getting 4, 5, 6 pound line. Of course, that's just ridiculously heavy. And the other drawback there is the diameter of that heavier line keeps the jig from sinking as fast as you want. So 3 seems to be right in the nice wheelhouse there.
Perfect.
And I scared away your fish. You're welcome.
That's all right. I'll go find them again.
At Otter Outdoors, we're committed to building a tougher, stronger, smarter line of ice shelters. Tougher is our roto-molded sleds, known for their legendary strength and durability. Stronger is our anodized square tube frame, oversized and substantially stronger than round tubing. Smarter is our fully sewn and quilted insulated Pro Series and Wild Series thermal shells, and a complete line of smarter accessories. This winter, let Otter Outdoors unleash the tougher, stronger, smarter ice angler in you.
Since 1946, StrikeMaster has held to a simple idea. If you build an auger that makes less work out of drilling holes, people will have more fun ice fishing. StrikeMaster's 2-stroke Solo Series provides unmatched cutting speed in a lightweight design. New this winter, StrikeMaster unveils their Honda-powered 4-stroke auger. The Honda 35cc Light tears up the ice with reliable Honda power. StrikeMaster Ice Augers. Visit us online today to find the StrikeMaster auger that's right for you.
Okay, let's drop the transducer here in the water. And one of the things that I want to provide as a tip here is to do the transducer swing. And you'll see guys out here on the ice doing it, but you might not understand what's going on. And right now on my LX6, I have no fish. However, if I give the transducer a swing, what I find is when that transducer kicks out in this direction, I've got 2 nice crappies in this direction hanging about 6 feet off the bottom. As soon as that transducer stops swinging and comes back down in this hole, no fish. So I know the fish are off in this direction. Now how I know which direction they're in is very simple. I can watch the swing of that transducer cable, and the only time I see those marks on my LX6 is when it kicks out in this direction. When it swings back down in this direction, the fish are gone. comes back in this direction, there's the fish. It's a technique that experienced crappie fishermen will use out over this deeper water to really expand the area that they can see with one of these flashers. Give it a try next time. It takes a little bit of practice to figure out which direction those fish are actually in. You kind of have to watch the swing to know which direction to head next, but I got 3 fish right over here. See that? Every time that transducer swings away, I pick up those fish. As soon as it settles again, they're gone. Fish in front of me, fish in front of me. Every time that transducer swings, it's telling me that direction. So that's what I'm gonna do next. Give it a try the next time you're out here chasing basin crappies. You know, the more area that you can see with one of these flasher units, the quicker you can find the school.
Yeah, they're right there. Drop and try to get another one here. Catch one more of these. Hopefully. There he is. This is a good one. That's the way these main lake basin crappies are supposed to be all the time, but they aren't. This is a dandy crappie. This lake in particular has got a lot of crappies this size. Perfect eaters. Doesn't take very many to get a nice meal if you're looking for a meal. All right, let him go. Now, there's no way without swinging the transducer I would have found that fish or that school of fish. It's vital in this deep water like this to stay on top of these schools that are constantly moving. You know, it just lets you cover so much area with one hole. Instead of just straight down, you can swing that cone and pick them up and move from there.
Oh yeah, oh no! He's gonna take his buddies with him too. Got him, comebacker. Nice, I love it when they give me a second chance since I absolutely goofed it the first time. Well, he's digging his shoulders in.
Yeah, he is.
I like it.
That's a good one.
17 feet, 15 feet. I thought he was gonna be a lot bigger than that. He gets sporty points. Got another one down there. See you later, bud. 2 more down there. Yeah. Maybe we can start getting a little concentrated action here.
It'd just be nice if they'd stick around for more than
just a few minutes.
2 seconds. Are they over there?
Yep, here they are.
Mother load?
Call it like aunt load or something, not quite the mother load. You know, this morning we had those just stacks of them.
Yeah, thinking about it.
Oh yeah! Oh, no! Yeah, you moved him quite a bit.
Yes. That was one of those big red lines too. The ones you want. Oh, here comes another one. The little one's gonna come smoke it.
Give you what for?
Oh, he's not that little. Oh, this plastic's getting tore up.
You can catch a lot of fish on a nickel plastic.
Save a lot of money on bait using plastic.
Yes, you do. Just time.
Yep.
Rebaiting. You still using that nail?
Yeah.
Ratso body?
Yeah. Pulled that plastic right off the back of the hook. Say bye-bye. All right. Better go find some new plastic.
This winter, start seeing red. Visit markhamtech.com and this winter, start seeing red.
Mind if I fish with you guys?
No, but if you're using custom jigs and spin lures, you better get a bigger bucket.
With Custom Jigs and Spins new tungsten heavy metal jigs, you'll get down to the big ones quickly and catch more and bigger fish. These jigs have been designed by world-renowned Croatian ice fisherman Čekaj Matin.
Čekaj #1 with Čekaj lures fishing. Go Čekaj, go!
So when you use Custom Jigs and Spins, try the new tungsten heavy metal ice jigs.
Custom jigs and spins, the hottest bait below the ice.
Here he comes.
Man, you're into them now.
Boy, when these things are fired up, you just can't beat this. Oh, they're dandy. They're liking this dark color, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Oh, since I matched the same pattern that you've got on,
Yep.
I mean, I've just been clobbering them.
Get back down there. Starting to fade out here a little bit.
They got to learn sometime, right?
Oh yeah. Swim to a different hole and get hooked. Oh, this one's gonna get it here anyway. Oh, he wants to. Here.
There's mine. Yeah. The rods that we're both using today, these are tuned up custom precision noodles. Whew, that's a nice fish. tuned up custom precision noodles. And what we like about them so much is just that real soft tip. Beautiful fish. I've got about 8 more down there waiting, so we're gonna dispense with him quickly. And here's what really sets that rod apart. It's got that real fine, flexible tip, and it transitions fairly quickly into a pretty stout backbone. Real important, drives the hook home. You know, we're fishing 25, 28 foot of water. We're fishing with monofilament, so we're gonna have a little stretch there. We wanna get into that backbone to drive that hook home, but we also want that real sensitive tip to see those little light biters. If they hit it down, you see it. And of course, if they grab the jig, take the weight off the line, the rod tip goes up. Either way, it's at the hook. That's that tuned up custom precision noodle. The crappie midwinter was made for the guys that like to punch holes and move.
Yes.
You know, if you're gonna sit still in an ice house on these fish, you're just not gonna have a very good day. You know, if there was structure involved, something to hold those fish, it'd be a whole different story.
Yep.
I want to show everyone how quick and easy it is to eliminate unproductive water. Anytime I approach a basin crappie bite, get into my maps. I own more of these than any man should, and what I want to do is just demonstrate how quickly an angler can take a map like this for any body of water and eliminate areas of that lake that really don't need to be fished at all midwinter. I'm going to be looking for those basin areas. Most often for me it's going to be between 28 and 35 feet of water. If there's 40, 50, 60 foot of water on that lake, chances are the crappies won't be out that deep. There are exceptions. Most of the time those fish are going to suspend still in that 25, 30 foot range in the water column. So I'm going to just start at the bottom. Down here at the bottom, I would not fish this area in the winter. I would just literally just write it right off. As I approach the center of the lake, I'm seeing a lot of 29 to 32, 33 feet of water. I really like this area. This is an absolute must fish. And if you look at this scale here, you know, 2 inches is probably 1,000 feet. I would really only fish this center area here. There's only about 300-400 feet of that I'm gonna really focus my attentions on, meaning somebody with a good sharp auger, you can rip that up pretty quick and know with certainty whether those fish are there or not. Anything up through this channel, I would pretty much ignore. Just write it off for this time of year. Southern portion of this upper lake, not going to hit it. And as you start to move out into the main portion of this upper lake, you're seeing some deeper water there. And I'm not going to say there's not going to be any crappies there. There almost certainly will be, but I'm just not seeing the layout that I like that's going to pull in a large school of crappies. Anything at the very top portion of the lake, I'm just going to write off. Doesn't have the right depth, very sharp contours up there. And really what catches my eye is this portion of the lake, their top right. I'm seeing the right depths. I'm seeing a very consistent bottom where it's not changing quickly in any short amount of distance. And what I really like is I've got this point, the sharp break that sticks out into the basin from this side, and a fairly sharp breaking shoreline break that comes out into the basin. And why I like that is the crappies will tend to be funneled through that area. They're not going to use that break line. They're not going to come up on the structure, but they will swim through what amounts to a neck down area. And anything that funnels those crappies or reduces the area that I'm going to have to fish to stay on that school is definitely going to play right into my favor. So one quick look at this map, maybe a minute of investigation, you can eliminate 75% of the water, maybe more, and know with almost certainty the few areas on these 2 lakes that need to be fished to uncover this midwinter basin crappie bite. Come on, fish. You want this. No. The one that remains is the one I've wanted. Come on, buddy. It's just you and me. One-on-one. Come on. There he is. Yeah! Earned him! That's fairly rewarding. This is not going to be a giant fish. Not shabby. Not shabby at all. Pretty cool when you can pick out the biggest mark on the screen and work that mark and catch that particular fish. You know, we haven't changed anything in the last hour with the baits we're fishing. Put in the hurt on crappies like that. Later, bud. Nothing but hurt feelings, really, when you get down to it. Maybe pride.
Hello, I'm Dave Markworth. I'd like to introduce you to the Skeeter Boat Center in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. At the Skeeter Boat Center, we carry the Midwest's largest selection of Skeeter fishing boats, all at prices you can afford. And we offer test drives on most models in stock. Our highly trained staff will provide you the personalized service that you deserve. So check us out at SkeeterBoatCenter.com, where our goal is to help you have fun fishing.
Doink. Dig it.
Trying to get one right behind you.
Doink.
Not gonna happen.
Man, this is awesome. Everything today, oh no. Everything today except for that fish right there has come together perfectly. But I lost that fish. It's all shot to heck now.
Well, you got a quick hook up.
It's amazing the quality of crappies that are in this lake. I mean, with how many houses are around it, the pressure.
Another nice basin crappie.
It's kind of nice that they're just kind of hanging in this one little area now.
Yeah.
These fish keep getting even more and more shallow. They're rising higher and higher in the water column. I mean, we're starting to see fish 20 feet down over 35 feet of water. Catch a crappie 20 foot of water. Coming up out of that depth isn't gonna hurt him at all. Got it. And it's gonna be a pretty good one too. Now, as long as I don't run his face into the bottom of the ice and knock him off, I think he's gonna be mine. For a few seconds anyway. Come here, buddy. See what happened? The fish strikes back. I got my thumb there a little bit. There, gone. Small fish. What we're having happen here now is, you know, we thought for sure these crappies are just gonna fire right up and feed hard right until dark, and they're getting a little bit picky right now. And it could be because we're fishing black baits. It's pretty cloudy, low light penetration now, so they just might not be able to see that bait very well. So we might want to switch baits, or we might want to just go home because we've caught so many of the darn things already. I know when I got here this morning, Brian, I was a lot more mad at these crappies than I am right now.
Yeah. Well, not the way it started.
20, 30 crappies will soothe the savage beast.
That'll be enough for...
That'll do, pig. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Here it comes. It's gonna doink it. There will be doink. There will be doink. I'm telling you. There's no way there's not gonna be doink. Come on. Doink it. Oop, boink. Awesome. This one's got some heels and he's using them to dig in. I take that back about this black bait. I should not have spoke ill of it.
Yeah.
That's a decent fish.
They're liking the black still.
Man, just every time, right in the top lip there. That's probably right about our average today. You know, that 11, maybe a little bit longer than that 11-inch crappie. Real nice fish, had some, of course, larger and some smaller. But that's right in the wheelhouse of what we've had left and right here today. All right, buddy, back you go. My jig has seen better days. Such a simple bait. Blackhead with a little glow, big old eyes on there, and that smoke-colored ratso body. Deadly. The crappies dig. There we go.
That looks like a good one.
They're all awesome.
I know.
I don't have any favorites. I'm partial to them all. Here, buddy. Mostly because they're just pretty darn nice. Super nice fish. We have absolutely caught the living daylights out of crappie today. You know, really the whole tone, direction of this show was about helping people understand what these basin crappie bites are all about. And really that's a prime example of what all the effort that we put in is supposed to achieve. Just crappie like that, large numbers. And for anybody that wants to be a more successful crappie angler, if you have a good understanding of this basin pattern, you're gonna be consistently successful. And what you start to see about, middle of January, right where we're at right now, these fish will move into these basin patterns and pretty much stay in the same pattern the rest of the winter. And it's definitely one of those patterns that produces my largest crappie, and you certainly are on one of these bites. I mean, as far as numbers are concerned, it's just crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
You see this change at all through the rest of the winter?
No, it won't be late February, early March sometimes. They'll still be around, you know, you just got to work a little harder, but
get some,
you'll still get on them.
Get some melt, get some water coming in, they'll start to move shallow again prior to the spawn, but you know, that's a pattern that lasts 6-8 weeks, which for fishermen, that's almost unheard of.
Yeah.
You know, once you find these fish in these basins like this, they're gonna be there for you for an extended period of time. And I am no longer mad at crappie. I have caught so many crappie that really all I can think about now is food. And next week's show, I'm gonna probably have to fish for something that's got some teeth. So thanks for fishing with me today. I really appreciate it. And to everybody that tuned in today, from Brian and I, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
For more info on the latest fish reports, gear recommendations, and hottest techniques, connect with us online at indepthoutdoors.com or follow us on Facebook at In Depth Outdoors. And if you enjoyed today's show, be sure to let our sponsors know.